Welcome to Straight Outta Jersey. Today's podcast is brought to you by Ace Sunglasses. Go to acesunglasses.com.au to purchase some of the best shades around. Brought to you by Zapata Brand Media. This is Fantasy Football Draft Talk and Weekly NFL Game Review with Coach Diz and Jersey Jay-Z.
What's up, guys? It is Tuesday. We are live. Fourth and goal with the bros. We're going to recap week 3 of the NFL. Now, before I introduce my team, we're going to just do some house cleaning. Like and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. Write a comment. Tell us if you like the Jets or the Giants or the Steelers or whoever, the Eagles. Also, I want to give a shout out to Frank Curto, who's actually in the hospital. Hope he's feeling well and hope Fallon takes care of him to get him back and to get him healthy. Now let's introduce the team. My buddy on the bottom, another Jets fan, Tom T.D. Davis. What's up?
Hey, good to be back.
Then I got my brother, Coach Diz, on top. And now we have a new person, Chino the professional, on the board. What's up? He's a Giants fan. What's up, Chino?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Professionals.
All right, so as we're going to get started and recap week 3, let's start off with the Thursday night game with the Jets and Pats. Jets beat the Pats 24-3. It could have been a bigger score than that. Rodgers played extremely well. I thought Hall and Allen played great in the backfield. Rodgers actually looked like his younger self, running around out there, pretty smooth. Looked like he was running away from Diddy, but he will look really good out there, just running around. He's the most accurate thrower in football right now. The only thing I will say is that it was the Pats, and they are pretty bad, but they did look good. Defense showed up. There's an interesting stat that when Rodgers, the defense scores 20 points or less, he's 81-10. Did you know that, Rodgers? 81-10. So I thought it was a great game, good positive direction. Jets look great, so I'm looking forward to Denver. Tom, what did you think of the game?
I thought it was an excellent game. They came out, they were pretty aggressive, which was, you never really see that from a Jets offense. And they were able to move the ball. It was honestly, it was a little surreal. It was exactly like what you were envisioning when you trade for Aaron Rodgers. And then it kind of was the first time where it was like, oh, wow, this could actually, work and function. It's one thing to play it in Madden or talk about it, but it's another to actually see it. And the Patriots aren't the Patriots of old, but at the same time, you're building it's a fresh start with a new head coach, and they didn't totally embarrass him. They kind of, but they gave him a good look, whooping. So it's a nice win.
It was a nice win. Actually, the only thing I would say too is that Bill Parcells always said, you give up 100 yards in penalty, that's a touchdown. So they need to come down on the penalties. That's really what they have to do and get a little bit better.
They had a few delayed games.
Correct.
All stuff that I wouldn't be too worried about with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Diz, let's go with you. What do you think of the Jets game?
I thought the Jets played well. I thought Aaron Rodgers, like you said earlier, he looked young running. I was shocked when I saw him running the first couple times. I was like, all right, maybe he just wants to, show that the Jets fans that he can run. Last time, what? Okay. Last time, he ran out on the field. He tore his ankle up and his Achilles. But I think they did good. And like I said last week, I think just give the Jets and Aaron Rodgers some time, and they'll look pretty good.
All right. Chino, tell me what you think.
I think the Jets look good. He spread out the ball good. They were using their backup running back well, Braylon Allen. He was getting some nice long runs. He reminds me a little bit of the Giants' Brandon Jacobs. He's a pounder,
I think that someone's thing has to shut down off the comments, I think, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably me. Hold on a second.
Maybe that's your daughter. Maybe we need to put her to sleep.
That's a rookie mistake. That's a rookie
mistake. What happened again, Coach? But yeah, overall, the Pats, like you said, the Pats are not what they used to be. The Jets needed to win that game. They look good going into week 4. So let's see if the momentum keeps them going for another win this week.
Okay, wow, that's pretty good. Now, they play Denver, which I think will be another easy win. Chino, you're going to have to get knocked off pretty soon if you
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Yeah. But, the Pats, going just back with that game, I still see good things with the Pats. I think Mayo's got them playing hard. So
Yeah.
I think in a couple of years they'll be good, but they just need a quarterback. I don't think Brissett's the one to do it.
Well, we're going to see. I think they're going to beat Denver. It's going to be a good game. I think Denver. Bo Nix looked good, though. He did look good. But I think, what do you think, Tom, about Denver? You think we're going to win that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a nice statement win. In my mind, yeah, the Jets have to win week 4. And if you really want to like cement yourself as like, all right, we're established like good team. You can't choke to Denver at home.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Nix, they've got some talent. Patrick Surtain's a great cornerback, but no excuse really. The Jets are a much better team at this point.
On paper they're a much better team, so they should win. But anything happens in the NFL. D, what do you think about Denver? You think we're going to win that game?
I think it's going to be a tougher game, because Denver surprised everybody beating Tampa Bay, and that was one that I did not see. I mean, I was riding hard with Tampa Bay, but I think it's going to be a close game. I'm probably going to see the Jets win by 3. I want to see Surtain if he shuts down Wilson that much. I have Wilson in fantasy, so I don't really want that. But
Chino, what do you think about Denver Jets next week?
I think the Denver's coming off a big win, man, and like that momentum, that's going to drive them, man. The Jets can do it. The Jets have the better team on paper, no doubt about it. But again, talking about Wilson, Wilson hasn't been getting a lot of looks like he should be getting. Beginning of the season, I said Wilson was going to be like a top receiver. His numbers, his stats aren't showing it yet. So maybe this could be a breakout game for Wilson this week. Who knows? But I think it's going to be a close one. I think the Jets win by 3 in a nail biter.
Okay, we'll definitely see that. All right, now we're going to go to the Giants. Okay, the Giants beat the Browns 21-15. They started off 0-2 on the road game, and within blink of an eye, they were down 7-0. I was like, here we go again. But they rallied themselves. Neighbors had a great first half. They switched up cornerbacks, shut them down sort of the second half, but he did great. Jones seemed pretty good. He was rocky a little bit, but one thing I will mention is the Cleveland's offensive line. They were hurt. They had guards playing tackle. They had backups playing backups. You do that in the NFL, you're dead. Mm-hmm. So they had their offensive line was hurt, beat up, but still Jones played decent football. He got to the win. Singletary, he ran the ball really well, although he fumbles way too much for me. 2 games in a row with a fumble. So, Tom, what did you think of the Giants game?
I wasn't expecting that after that, kickoff first play of the game. It was a really good win. Giants should honestly be pretty proud of themselves with that one. Deshaun Watson, it's like this has kind of been this whole era with Cleveland. And I think he got sacked like 5 times. Giants have a pretty good defensive line, so it's good to see it happen in a game, first time this year. And Malik Neighbors back-to-back, great performances. So
great performance, I think. D, what do you think of your G-men?
That win surprised me. I had them going to like 0-4 starting the season. Could be a little like 0-6, but Neighbors. I mean, Malik Neighbors is a great talent. I was surprised because I didn't know if Daniel Jones was getting the ball, but they seem to be making some plays around him, and that's a good thing. Singletary, surprisingly, I didn't think he was going to be this good. He's been okay. He's been good for us. The defense is a little shady. I didn't expect right off the bat to, be down 7-0 against Watson and them. But, I think it's a good momentum to get them to Thursday night game against the Cowboys, and we'll talk about that later. But I need to see more from Daniel Jones because, one win against Cleveland, of course it was at Cleveland, so that's a big win. But I need to see more from Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm. All right, Chino, professional, what do you think about your G-men?
The game, from the beginning of the game, I was like, oh, my God, here we go again. This game's over before it started. But then they put some runs together. They started getting Neighbors involved, and next thing you know, we're back in the game. I think, they got to focus on Neighbors, man, like they used to do when they used to have Odell on there. They just got to feed him the ball, get Singletary running, and the defense needs to step up a little bit. Sexy Dexy was doing his thing. Burns, Burns been getting his rushes here and there, but I haven't really seen, the money that we paid him really pay off yet. So, I think it's going to be a good game this week coming up. The momentum going into this week Thursday is going to be huge. Don't sleep on the G, man.
Chino, quick question. What do you see difference with the talent between Odell and Malik Majors? Who's better? Who do you think's better in the first rookie season?
Oh, so it's only week 3, D. But the way it's looking like, I can see Malik getting rookie of the year, man. If he keeps playing like this, man, he can get rookie of the year. But it relies on Daniel Jones, man. Daniel Jones needs to get him the ball.
Yeah. Now all that talk about sitting Daniel Jones, I think Daniel Jones is the guy you got to go through the rest of the season. He's your quarterback.
You have to do that.
He gets a lot of money. Put him out there, no matter what. Drew Lock is not ready. Tommy DeVito, Cutlets is not ready. So, obviously it's Daniel Jones. They play Dallas next week, and I think that they will beat Dallas, believe it or not. I'm going to say here they're going to beat Dallas. Tom, what do you think about Dallas?
I'm taking the Cowboys. Cowboys have won 13 of the last 14 meetings, and I thought it was a great win. But, yeah, you got CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys just pissed off, didn't get the ball enough. Giants just let Amari Cooper score 2 touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a bunch of red zone targets. And I think it'll be a good game. It'll be competitive. But I mean, the Cowboys are coming off 2 losses? They got 2 losses now.
Yep.
They're pissed off, so I'll take the Cowboys.
D, what do you think? They're going to beat the Cowboys?
No, I unfortunately I have to say I think the Cowboys are going to beat them only because they're pissed off. Their whole team is pissed off. They needed to win. They got their ass handed to them last week. This is a must-win for the organization, for McCarthy, everybody. Jerry Jones is like firing coaches in the middle of the season, but if they go down again, to the Giants, wow, I mean, there's might be some heads rolling.
Wow. All right, now we're going to go to the Eagles. They beat the Saints. Barkley had a big game, former G-man.
I don't think Chino picked this. Did you pick?
Yeah, I said, my heart's with the Giants. Going with the Giants here.
Going with the G-man. All right, we got it. Eagles beat the Saints 15-12. I was surprised with that game. I got to see what the Saints were really about because they were blowing teams out, doing great. So I was like, oh, okay, let's see what the Saints got. And then it came down to earth. Barkley did great. Eagles needed that win after that embarrassing loss to the Falcons, which was really close.
That was Saquon's fault.
That's true. It was Saquon's fault, and he made it up to that in this last week's game against the Saints. Eagles are still, I think, the team they're going to be up there. They're going to probably win that division. I think maybe I think that's the team. Tom, what do you think about the Eagles?
I think I'll take Tampa Bay this week over them, just because Devontae Smith is he was concussed. He got hit pretty hard against the Saints. And A.J. Brown is still kind of 50-50. You like the Eagles long-term, the rest of the season, but you got Tampa Bay, who's shown they're, pretty feisty playoff team from a year ago. I'll take Tampa at home. So.
Okay, good. D, now you're in the PA area, so why don't you tell about your Eagles?
I mean, it just shows you, they're missing A.J. Brown. That's a big, big hole for them. But Goddard came through, so he did good this game. I was surprised that the Saints were in there with them, but the Saints defense is pretty good. Their Saints defense is pretty good. So they, Barkley had one big run. I think they held him in check. He had one big 70-yard run for the touchdown, but they held him in check. So I wasn't surprised that the Eagles had a tough game. I was surprised that Saints played so well. I do think that this week, this is going to be a tough one. Ooh, with Tampa Bay, I think the Eagles are going to win because I think they're going to feed Barkley all night and try to, get to the next couple games to get Smith back and Brown back.
They're home or away?
Away.
They're away.
Eagles are in Tampa? Oof.
All right. Chino, what do you think? Eagles, they beat the Saints, and then tell me about Tampa Bay. You think they're going to beat them?
Oh, that's a tough one, man. The Saints last week, they looked like contenders. This week, they look like pretenders. So I don't know. Eagles, I think on paper, Eagles get it done. Eagles get it done in a nice, good old-fashioned ass whooping.
Yep.
Oh. All right. Now we got the Steelers, which I don't know. They're 3-0. They beat the Chargers 20-10. Eagles defense is still really great. Really good defense. It looks like Fields is starting to get comfortable in that offense. Looks like he is. He's starting comfortable. And I think Russell Wilson, I don't think you'd be able to let him start at this rate. Just keep riding what you got going, right?
Let's ride.
Let's ride it out. Tom, what do you think of those Steelers?
Yeah, I mean, they look fantastic. I think TJ Watt's got like one sack every game so far, and Fields, yeah, you got to just keep rolling with it. I don't think this was exactly what they wanted to do. If they were like heading into the season, they probably wanted Wilson to get the first go, but this is how it works out. So, I think there's a lot of. I think who scored this week? Calvin Austin. He's had a big play. Other than that, George Pickens has been pretty quiet, but they're playing the Colts, so I think you could see a nice game out of Pickens this week.
All right, D, what do you got with the Steelers?
I'm surprised that they did so well, but again, their defense is top 4 in the league. Russell Wilson, no. I mean, Justin Fields, I think he needs to run a little bit more, but maybe that's not what they're trying to do. But that's what his game is, throwing downfield once in a while. But he doesn't really read the defenses that well. Going against the Colts.
Yeah, they're going to play the Colts.
It's going to be a tough one. The Colts barely won last week, so I'm going to go Steelers. They'll win by a field goal because that's all they do is kick field goals. So
yeah. What about you, Chino? What do you think of that? The Steelers 3-0.
Steelers defense looks good. I would like to see Pickens get more involved in the game. Fields is Fields. He's not Joe Montana, but if you can get it done again this week, I say you got to feed your beast, which is Pickens, man. He's a monster. You got to get him involved. I'll take the Steelers.
Speaking of feed the beast, you might want to feed those kids. Yelling.
Man, these guys eat me out of home every day, man.
Let's go to the Bills and Jackson. Bills dominate them 47-10. 47-10. They dominate. Josh Allen had almost 30-something points by halftime. Looked incredible. I think it's going to be them and the Jets, but to be honest with you, I think Buffalo's going to win that division. Tom, what do you think of the Bills?
Oh, I mean, they've been stellar. It's almost like watching like Ohio State play Marshall, or like Alabama play like Western Kentucky. They just look at a different class at this point. Clearly, like Josh Allen, the idea or the concept of Josh Allen spreading the ball around and not having to like worry about finding specific like star talents has really helped, and it really lets him like kind of freestyle. James Cook is also really great. He dropped that one 40-yard pass, but beside that, I mean, they've just been an excellent team. They're scary.
Yeah. What about you?
So far, most impressive team so far for sure.
Yep, definitely. D, what do you think? The Bills.
You said something earlier about Aaron Rodgers being the most accurate quarterback, but Josh Allen was just dropping them into people's hands yesterday.
Yep.
I think he's showing the whole NFL that we didn't need Stephon Diggs because he's spreading that ball out all over the place. And I think James Cook, I was not high on him, and the last 2 weeks has been very good.
Very good.
Bills look like the team in the AFC East, probably in the AFC right now. But I just think the Bills are a good coach team, good, well-oiled machine that is going to keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Chino, what about you? What do you think of the Bills? Dominant?
They look really well. The way Allen was spreading the ball was very well. James Cook looks just phenomenal. They're the team to beat, I think, man. This week should be, no hard task for them. They'll get it done. Other than that, but I'm confident Bills will take it.
Yeah, I mean, with the Jets, we're talking about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers and who's accurate quarterback. Do you know that the Jets have 9 TDs in 3 games? Okay, you know how long it took them last year to get 9 TDs? Week 11. Week 11 took them last year to week 11 to get 9 TDs. Now they did it. And I think Rodgers has
just shows you. I get a good quarterback.
Get a good quarterback. It shows you. Now, speaking of good quarterbacks, there's something I want to discuss, and that would be we got the Hall of Fame eventually, and then Eli Manning. is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? And that was one of the questions that I heard all over during the week. People were talking about it. Tiki Barber was talking about it. You know, as much as I don't like the guy, I really don't. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's one of only, 6 players to get 2 Super Bowl MVPs. I think he's second on a list of comebacks in the fourth quarter or overtime. I think he has like 44 wins. Drew Brees has like 45. So he is the comeback guy. He always wins. He beat the undefeated Patriots. He is a Hall of Famer. I mean, Tom, let's start with you. Is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer?
Eli Manning is the first non-Hall of Fame talent that's going to be like the unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. He's for sure. He's got to be. I mean, he's like Mr. Giant. He's definitely exceeded Sims. I mean, he was one of my first quarterbacks I got to like watch his whole career span out. Like him, Roethlisberger, who was also in that class, Phillip Rivers. Eli, he was the winner of that. Roethlisberger got 2 as well. But yeah, I mean, Eli's. You saw as soon as OBJ's career kind of like what's turned out to him of late, ever since he lost Eli Manning. Everybody always would just say, "Oh, it's just OBJ," but he's a great quarterback. He's a Manning, so
yeah. Dan in the chat here said Eli showed 0 emotion when he played. You know, that's true, Dan. He never really showed any emotion. You know, and I think his numbers went down because the last 3 years he played, the Giants really were a bad team. So that kind of started again. Here we go again, round 3. But Eli Manning, is Eli Manning a Hall of Fame quarterback?
You know, talent-wise, probably not. But overall, yes. 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Was behind one of the greatest catches of all time, throwing it up to David Tyree. Yeah, and he said he shows no emotions. That's what's good with him. He never gets too high, never gets too low. He just stays on the course of the path of, just trying to win. He's a Manning, he's definitely.
He always looked confused. His face always looked confused.
He looked like a deer in headlights. I remember that one time he played San Francisco and they hit him. He came up, his face mask was all torn up. But he'll stay in there and just throw it in. And
yeah, he is. He's played I think durable like 200 and something games. So he's played every time he gets knocked down, but he always played.
Yep.
Chino, Hall of Fame, Eli.
I think, without a doubt, Hall of Famer, man. Like with everything he has done with going through adversity and in that New York media market, you want to get some goosebumps. You got to listen to that. The way Greeny defends Eli Manning on his on ESPN. Oh my God. He just breaks down everything he's done and the way he's done it and how he just went through adversity. It's a great take on how Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer. If you haven't listened to it, you got to listen to it.
Who was it? Mike Greenberg?
Mike Greenberg on ESPN. He did it, I think it was like 2 years ago or last year.
Okay.
But it was a great take on it, man. If you haven't listened to it, you got to listen to it.
All right.
Yeah. So Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer. So now we're going to switch gears, talk a little bit about some other games that might have happened, and then we'll talk a little fantasy football. Any games that happened this week that we thought were surprising or anything that was crazy that you might have saw? Tom, anything you thought?
check.
No?
Not really. I mean, I guess the Jaguars are 0-3. I mean, that's just an awful situation. I don't know where you go from there. Andy Dalton put on an absolute show, and
I think for me, I'm surprised the Bengals are 0-3. I cannot believe the Bengals are 0-3. I mean, and maybe Joe Burrow he seems to be lacking something. I was talking to Larry Mazza because he has a gambling site and everything, and Larry Mazza was telling me that he says he thinks Joe Burrows is not into it anymore like he was that first year, and he says him and Jamar Chase seem to be arguing all the time now.
I'll tell you what they're missing.
What?
Joe Mixon.
You think they're missing Joe Mixon? Joe Mixon? Well, he's not lighting it up, is he?
For sure.
He did good the first game, and then the second game he got hurt.
Yep.
Yeah, second game he got hurt and everything.
But they're missing him because running the ball takes the other team's offense off the field. And then they all the corners start coming down, creeping down. Then you got that bomb to Chase. That's the game that I was worried. Like I was like, wow, I can't believe. Now, mind you, Jalen Dallon's played a hell of a game, but still, That's the Commanders. I mean, they just lost to the Giants last. No, they beat the Giants, but they should have lost.
They should have lost. Correct. They should have lost. Any other games? Or you think, Chino? Any games stand out to you that you thought maybe surprise losses?
The Cowboys. That was the way the Cowboys. I thought they were going to take that game, and then when the Ravens just started romping on, I was like, wow, this is crazy. But but not for nothing.
Like they gave up a little bit.
But hold on, but I'll give it up to the Cowboys though. They started, they regrouped, they started scoring points, and they came back. It was a close game, at the end. So we'll see.
Now there's only 5 undefeated teams now: Bills, Steelers, Chiefs, Seahawks, and Vikings.
Yes,
I think those are the only 5 undefeated teams. So we're gonna see. Now let's switch to fantasy football. Now, one of the fantasy football things I was shocked with is why didn't you start Derrick Henry, King Henry?
Because I had who did I start? I had Breece Hall and who was the other guy?
I don't know who you started, but you just started King Henry.
Gibbs, Jamar Gibbs.
Jamar Gibbs.
So Henry had to show me something. They need to feed him the ball, and I said that a couple of weeks ago. They need to feed him the ball. Just keep on feeding him.
Yeah, I noticed he always starts off slow, but once he starts getting that momentum, so I knew because I had him in my fantasy the last 3 or 4 years, and he always did like 1 or 2 bad games at first, and then he would explode for like 4 in a row.
Yeah.
How did you do in fantasy, Tom, this week?
That was a nice week. I have Josh Allen in one of my leagues, so that was a nice.
That was a really nice one. Yep.
I thought I lost that one. What's his name? Juwan Jennings had an amazing game for the 49ers.
Did you have him on your team?
No, I didn't. But
I don't think anybody had him on his team.
No, three touchdowns, like 160 yards. I mean, he had like a great Super Bowl, and I guess it makes sense in hindsight. But you would have thought that would have been like Brandon Ayuk, but he really showed out. And Braylon Allen on the Thursday night game he's probably a guy to look at as a pickup as well.
Yeah, pick up everything. What about you, Chino? Anything? A lot of your injuries, like me, also on your team.
So let's talk about Caleb Williams, man, and how the number 1 pick. Is he living up to the number 1 pick?
No.
He needs to get going. He's coming off of 2 straight losses. DJ Moore, you can see the frustration in DJ Moore.
Now, do you think that not having Keenan Allen's a big key?
Not really. But what I'm saying, like DJ Moore is a beast, man, and you just got to get him the ball, utilize him. Yep. I don't know. Was Roma Odunze? Was he injured this week? Was he playing?
No, he played. They scored a touchdown.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I think Williams looks very confused out there. To be honest with you.
One thing I would say is, I don't know if any of you guys have any stock in him, but Mark Andrews, what's going on with him?
Oh yeah.
What is the deal?
0 points in fantasy this week, right? 0.
Basically had 0 all 3 weeks.
And even Kelsey too.
You got to talk about the whole tight end position in general. Like Kelsey's not putting up his numbers. Mark Andrews not putting up his numbers. It's these are like the top tight ends that for the last 4 or 5 years been picked in the first ones to go, and they're not even producing those numbers. So like I did in one of my leagues, man, I banished the tight end position. I said, you know what, I'm putting in the wide receiver flex instead of the tight end position, make it more fun.
Yeah, I mean, even Lamar is not even thrown to the tight end that much. So I don't even know. I mean, what do you think, Tom? What do you think about the tight end position?
Yeah, it's always kind of it's been a weird. It's in fantasy. It's like if you have one, it's such a huge advantage. So like last year, Sam Laporta had a great year. This year, Brock Bowers is really having a pretty good year.
Yeah, Brock Bowers. The Raiders.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you have a good one, it helps your team out a lot. Travis Kelce's struggled. He's showing his age.
That Taylor Swift thing, like you said, he's a Swiftie.
Yeah,
Taylor Swift's getting in his head. So the reason why he's not producing.
He's definitely sleeping on the couch. So.
I mean, is it like a fullback position? Like the fullback is not used anymore, really, but that tight end position. I mean, oh, look at that! I saw somebody come in the back there. Who's that in the back end?
Oh.
Another player over there.
Yeah.
To the tight ends, but no, I mean, other than that, I think surprising. A lot of people have been hurt, and with San Francisco, I mean, Debo's hurt, CMC's hurt. So I was thinking, hey, Ayuk's going to have a great game, but even he didn't have a good game,
Yeah.
So
now, let's talk. There is some talk with CMC going Germany to look at a specialist for his Achilles. I don't know. That's not good. That's not good. When you're going
he was the number one pick in most people's
country to get a specialist, something's not right with CMC. Something is not right.
Yeah, he was the number one pick in a lot of people's draft.
Yep.
CMC.
He's supposed to come back, week 5? He was only going on 4 weeks, right? 4-week IR. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's coming back from that. He's going to be out longer than that.
Yeah, well, he's going to Germany, you said?
Yep.
He's going to Germany to get his Achilles looked at to a specialist.
Now, if he's out for the year, are the Niners a contender?
They're a contender to make the playoff Super Bowl. No, they need CMC.
They need CMC.
Yeah,
100%.
Because I think that backup rookie they have, Mason, I think he's going to run out of gas very soon because he runs hard, gets hit hard. He's a big bruiser that only lasts you a certain amount of time, and they need that guy like CMC to move.
Yep.
I mean, they can utilize Debo, but he gets hurt all the time too. So it's like it's crazy. San Francisco was one of the favorites, and injuries killed that.
Yep.
Yeah, it is and everything. I don't know, but anything else going on with the fantasy football that you thought was surprising? Anybody that you're going to sit? I mean, you're injured. You're picking out anybody right now, Chino, who could just fill a roster, right?
Yeah. So Isaiah Pacheco got injured. So we're everyone's scrambling. They're like, oh, Carson Steele, Kareem Hunt. So Kareem Hunt, they picked him up, signed him, right? It's practice squad. They didn't elevate him this week. I think this week they're going to bring him up to elevate him to the game. And I think we're going to see old Kareem Hunt come back this year. I don't think Carson Steele is still young. I don't think he has what it takes to be like a 3-down back. I think Kareem Hunt can take those, the starting, take the starting handoffs for the first, the 1, 2, and 3, and then, spilling a Carson Steele in there. But yeah, I think Kansas City will be all right with their running backs.
Whatever happened to Edwards, their running back?
Oh, I think he's is he on IR?
He saw some shit over the over the off season. Like there was a homicide or something. He wasn't. Someone tried to break into his house or something. I don't know the whole story behind it, but he saw some stuff. So he's had a mental break, but he's eligible to come back week 5, according to Mike Tirico on Sunday Night Football.
Is he still with the Chiefs?
He's still on the team. Yeah, he's on the IR. It's not IR for an injury. It's mental health sort of thing.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. Yeah, I thought they let him go.
And I'll say another thing that's surprising, how good Sam Darnold's playing. Is he a pretender or is he a contender?
He got hurt, right?
I think
he got I think he got hurt. I'm not sure if I think he's gonna play, but yeah. Listen, man, if he's getting the ball to Justin Jefferson and getting it done, and then this guy Naylor, who came out of nowhere scoring every week, is huge too. And then you got Addison coming in this week. Mm-hmm. So he got studs on the perimeter. So
is Hockenson coming back soon or?
Hawkinson's, I think, out for another couple of weeks. I don't think was he on IR? Hawkinson's on IR or no?
Yeah, I think he tore his ACL right last year.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he started the year injured.
Oh, okay.
That Jets-Vikings game, Tom, does look very tough now. Though that it looks tougher than.
Is it home at Jets?
No, I think
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
So that game looks a little bit tough, because they were expected to win, but I don't know. I mean, that might be a little bit tough.
Brian Flores.
I've seen enough of Sam Darnold with the Jets, and I'm still not convinced he's just got a lucky team around him. He has grown up a little bit, and I think he started because I think he was with the before he was with the Bears or no?
He was with the 49ers last year, and then before that he was Carolina.
Carolina, yes, with Carolina, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still not convinced with him. You know, I think he's still got a long way to go. You know, I think he's lucky right now. That's what I think, honestly. Anything else, guys, before we start wrapping up here? Anything else for football for next week?
No.
What about Green Bay Packers? How about without Jordan Love getting it done?
Yeah,
that's pretty big, man.
That is.
You
I was
know?
surprised that they didn't use Josh Jacobs as much, but the other running back was all over the place. Willis, or no, that's the quarterback, Willis.
Yeah, Emmanuel Wilson.
Wilson.
He looks pretty good. He actually looks better than Jacobs. So
Yeah, he did.
that's like a deep sleeper if you're looking for a guy to pick up.
When does Jordan Love come back? You know?
He's
Anyone know?
starting practice.
He's starting to practice already?
That's crazy. That is crazy. Did you see that thing buckle and bang? Oh, I can't believe he didn't tear anything.
I don't know. But I do think that Neighbors is going to win Rookie of the Year.
I don't think so.
I think he will. As long as Daniel Jones keeps throwing him the ball and he doesn't do anything stupid, you know, like shoot anybody in a club or anything like that. You know?
But I think it's going to be Daniels from the Commanders.
Jaden Daniels, he looks good, man. Like now you know, like remember everyone was saying like everybody wanted to go after Jaden Daniels, and like I didn't believe
and then
it.
that picture of his arm or something. Remember his elbow was like swollen.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna see. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate it. We will see next week. We'll have week 4. Before we know it, we'll be at Thanksgiving.
Yep.
You know, we'll be at Thanksgiving and the Super Bowl, so we'll see. All right, guys, Tom, TD, D, Chino the professional. Put those kids to bed, Chino. Put those kids to bed. All right. See you guys next week.
Peace.
Later.